Nigeria, justice sector reforms approval, moves to combat power shortage, abolish acceptance fees in the Nigerian educational system, ECOWAS Parliament opens last session for 2019. These are some of the stories for tonight. Do I have to tell you what time it is and what program you're on to? I guess not. But there is much more. There is something on the alleged sale of children, plus the joy and challenge of childbirth. That is depending on the number you're blessed with, be it twins, triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets. Just wait for that story. There is business news, security issues, and of course, sports. Don't worry, it's a good harvest today on the program. And as usual, we'll leave you to experience it as the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Umar Buba, and this is News Extra. And we begin with FEC. The Federal Executive Council has approved an all-encompassing justice sector reform policy. This is aimed at enhancing access to all, as well as speedy administration of justice in the country. Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami announced this while briefing journalists after meeting of the council. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports on these and other approvals granted by members.
With President Muhammadu Buhari presiding, the Federal Executive Council deliberated extensively on the general principles of the policy described as critical towards engendering fair, efficient, and transparent administration of justice in Nigeria. Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami at a media briefing confirmed that a buy-in of both the executive, judiciary, and the legislature, as well as multidimensional institutions and stakeholders, has been sought and obtained.
The intention and design was to have a justice sector reform package that will turn things around for the better as far as the administration of justice is concerned, turn things around relating to access to justice, turn things around relating to speedy administration of justice, and turn things around for the purpose of ensuring at the end of the day that we have a consensus building approach to the administration of justice.
The Minister of Justice also secured the approval of the Council for the repeal and amendment of the nation's laws relating to the Geneva Convention aimed at protecting prisoners of war as well as people involved in armed conflicts and other related infractions.
The intention is to make necessary amendments to our laws relating to the rights of people involved in war, right to people involved in civil conflicts, to ensure at the end of the day that they are not unduly affected or prejudiced to such an extent that it goes outside the conventional tolerable practices internationally.
On his part, the Minister of Power, Salim Mamman, confirmed the ratification of President Muhammadu Buhari's anticipatory approval for the Transmission Company of Nigeria to release $2 million to the West African Power Pool for its 2019 budget.
That is part of our contribution to West African Power Pool, WAP, and it has been graciously approved.
The West African Power Pool has, amongst other objectives, creating a framework for improved quality, quantity, and access to power supply in member states of the sub-region. Another approval granted by the Federal Executive Council was the issuance of a sovereign guarantee collateral to a syndicate of international lenders for a €500 million loan facility for the Bank of Industry.
The main objective of the loan is to support industry, revitalize agro-industrial processing zones, to facilitate the creation of new jobs. We do believe that about 1.2 million jobs would be created through these facilities. Increase the income of farming communities and promote the inclusion of MSMEs and smallholder producers in industrial value chains, and the deployment of transportation infrastructure that connect farming communities to processors and markets.
The loan facility to be swapped to the nation's currency towards mitigating the foreign exchange risk is expected to finance major industrialization projects as well as micro, small and medium enterprises value chain in Nigeria for up to 5 years tenure. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, law experts have explained that the incessant call for the independence of the judiciary is not for the benefit of the individual judges, but to strengthen the checks and balance provision recommended by the Nigerian Constitution. The explanation came at the annual Criminal Law Review Conference, which commenced in Abuja. Femi Okeo reports.
In law practice, just as there are specialization in political, constitutional, and election matters, or even contractual, economic, and oil and gas matters, so are there specialists in criminal cases. But one thing that unites all these arms of law is the respect given to court pronouncements, which eventually help to bring sanity to our national lives. At the second annual Criminal Law Review Conference organized by the Rule of Law Development Foundation, criminal law practitioners highlighted areas that need the urgent attention of the executive, legislature, and even the judiciary itself to help stem the rising spate of kidnapping, banditry, corruption, and other forms of criminality.
There are no accurate statistics of cases pending in courts. Accused persons remanded in prison custody by courts, suspects languishing in police cells nationwide.
Other speakers called for greater investment in the nation's prosecutorial and investigative agencies.
If the prosecuting agencies do their work properly, I don't think anybody will say it otherwise.
As part of benefits of conferences such as this, law experts say that a seasonal but constant review of our criminal justice system will go a long way in improving the rule of law in Nigeria generally. In Abuja, Femi Okeo, NTA News.
Well, thank you, Femi, for that. Now, in another development, President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the Executive Order 009 on open defecation-free Nigeria by 2025 and other related matters. In the order, Nigeria is committed to being open defecation-free by 2025. To achieve this, the established National Secretariat called Clean Nigeria Campaign Secretariat at the Federal Ministry of Water Resources is authorized on behalf of the President to implement the order by ensuring that all public places, including schools, hotels, fuel stations, places of worship, marketplaces, hospitals, and offices have accessible toilets and latrines within their premises. All ministries, departments, and agencies of government are also expected to cooperate with the Clean Nigeria Campaign Secretariat. The National Assembly and the State Houses of Assembly shall enact legislation on the practice of open defecation with appropriate sanctions and penalties. All development projects are also to include construction of sanitation facilities as an integral part of the approval and implementation process. The Secretariat shall terminate when Nigeria is declared open defecation free. All enforcement authorities are hereby directed to diligently collaborate with the Federal Ministry of Water Resources in implementing the order. And to discuss further on this, we have Suleiman Adamu. He is the Minister of Water Resources. You're welcome to News Extra, sir.
Good evening and thank you.
Yes. So we've been talking about, the launch and also the campaign. So just a day after this launch of the Clean Nigeria Use the Toilet campaign, the executive order is coming. How significant is this order?
Well, it's certainly the icing on the cake in our efforts to rid Nigeria of this indecent practice of open defecation. This executive order clearly demonstrates the highest political will by government to eradicate this practice. With the presidential order, we expect that states will also follow suit because the bulk of the population are, of course, in the states. Mm-hmm. So President Muhammadu Buhari has demonstrated the highest political will and commitment to this. And there is now a national promulgation that Nigeria must be open defecation free by 2025. So it's not just the roadmap, it's not the Ministry of Water Resources. This is going to be a mass movement, a mass effort, and a total commitment by all Nigerians, I hope, going forward to eliminate this practice of open defecation so that Nigeria will drop from being number one, completely get out of the list of being number one in Africa and presently number two in the world, and very likely to be number one in the world if we fail to achieve this campaign.
Yeah, we pray that will happen soon. And before the launch, you traveled to some states on advocacy, visits to all the governors on the issues. So what commitment have you squeezed out of these governors you met? Oh, a lot. I've been in all the states I've visited, the governors showed a lot of commitment because we showed them the numbers, we showed them the statistics of how well they were doing relative to other states in terms of access to water supply and sanitation. The statistics are quite dismal, and it was quite a shock to many of them. I visited states where instantly a governor made a commitment and formally declared a state of emergency on water and sanitation, and in my presence directed his Attorney General to prepare a bill that will go to the State Assembly. So there's been a lot of commitment, and there are other states, even before I started the advocacy, that since the launch of the National Wash Action Plan in November last year, have already embraced this. And honestly, the response has been quite promising and very welcome. Now, briefly, with the bill, now before the National Assembly, what if the bill now becomes a law? How do you what's it?
Well, our approach is that we want behavioral change.
Okay.
That's the number one thing. But this kind of things have to go with a carrot and stick approach.
Okay.
The bill is not necessarily, the law that we hope that will be enacted is not necessary to punish people. In any case, we recognize that different authorities, local government, states, need to, and probably in the case of federal government, the Federal Capital Territory, we need to also do our own bit by providing facilities in public places and so on. And we want to bring in the private sector into that as well. But going forward, we have a 5-6-year program. By the time if these facilities are available near you, you should know that it is illegal for you to practice this behavior in public places or anywhere for that matter. That's it.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming on News Extra tonight to give us an insight to these issues and the water bill.
Thank you very much. Clean Nigeria, use the toilet.
Clean Nigeria, use the toilet.
Thank you.
All right, you've all had that. And yes, that was the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu. And moving on now to further address the problem of power shortages in Nigeria, the Senate has urged the federal government to urgently strengthen the Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority for it to function effectively and efficiently. National Assembly correspondent Vivian Idekpefo reports that the matter, which came under a motion by Senator Tanko Almakura, received the majority support.
No country has ever developed without efficient power supply. Now, the Senate is drawing attention to the need to urgently address this challenge and improve on the country's competitiveness, leveraging on President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to Russia, which culminated in the signing of the bilateral agreement on nuclear energy cooperation.
Power outages in Nigeria have constituted the major constraint in the development of manufacturing sector and negatively affect the cost of running business in Nigeria.
In fact, power is a critical infrastructure in the development of any nation. Until we are able to fix power, many things will not work in Nigeria.
The need to promote tourism to diversify the economy by Senator Oluremi Tinubu, and that to combat high rates of infant mortality caused by pneumonia by Senator Clifford Odia, were other motions also adopted.
Nigeria has all the trappings of huge tourism potential, rich cultural heritage that are not being maximized to advantage.
Post-pneumonia deaths can be prevented with vaccines and treated with low-cost antibiotics such as amoxicillin DT.
The Senate also considered 5 bills for second reading, including the Electoral Amendment Act of 2010 by the Deputy Senate President, that to establish Federal University of Agriculture and Technology Funtua, Katsina State by Mandi Abelu, and the bill to make provision for the protection from internet falsehood and manipulations and other related matters.
By this bill, we seek to ensure that the Act clearly forbids members of political parties from taking up employment in INEC, grant agents of political parties the right to inspect original electoral materials before the commencement of an election.
The university will also offer programs in engineering and areas of applied research which are critical to Nigeria's development aspirations.
In favor that this bill be now read a second time, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Meanwhile, the PDP Senate caucus has called on President Buhari to direct relevant authorities to investigate the murder of the party's woman leader in Kogi State and bring the perpetrators to justice. From the National Assembly, Vivian Idekbefo, NTA News.
And several reasons have been adduced as responsible for the difficulties encountered in accessing tertiary education in Nigeria. Among them, the acceptance fee charged applicants by management of the institutions. The House of Representatives says such fees should be abolished. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The issue of acceptance fees charged applicants by tertiary institutions in Nigeria, ranging from 20 to as high as 70,000 naira, elicited comments from lawmakers when Representative Emeka Martins brought the motion before the House.
The exploitative admission practice of this tertiary institution in the country are left unchecked. The aspiration of the indigent Nigerians to study in the university will continue to be cut short because of their inability to pay acceptance fee.
Man is funding them. I don't know what they are using this money for.
The House called on the Federal Ministry of Education and National Universities Commission to abolish it. Other motions adopted by the House include a call to rescind the order banning tricycle operations in Abuja and an appeal on concerned authorities to beef up security in communities in Zamfara State following renewed killings by bandits. The Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, in response to a matter of privilege raised by House Minority Leader Ndude Lumelu on an issue related to financial allocations to the National Assembly for constituency projects in the last 10 years, urged government agencies, in particular the ICPC, to ensure due diligence in investigations.
Send this message across to ICPC and all other such agencies that they should please be very, very careful, do their work, do their investigation. There's a difference between monies budgeted and monies released.
In the meantime, the House has passed 3 bills, while 3 passed second reading, including a bill for an act to amend the Nigeria Press Council Act, sponsored by Representative Olusegun Odebumi. As the Committee of the Whole reports on 3 bills, one of which seeks to prohibit the killing and exploitation of donkeys, were considered and adopted.
Even for agricultural purposes, we know the role donkey plays. We know for the purpose of transportation in the rural areas.
The House, during plenary, commenced legislative process on the 6 aviation sector reform bills forwarded to the National Assembly this week by the President as they went through first reading alongside 11 other bills. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Thank you, Lami. Determined to collectively deal with the multidimensional challenges confronting West Africa, leaders of the Commission of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, have pledged to collaborate with the Parliament and other community institutions to collectively confront regional challenges. This was at the opening of the second ordinary session of the 4th legislature of the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja. Ado Adamu also reports that the 3-week session is also expected to give legislative direction for the effective running of the Commission to achieve the desired regional development.
As members of Parliament of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS begin deliberation in Abuja, top on their agenda is the consolidation of democracy, regional economy, the conduct of peaceful election, addressing mounting security threats, and the attainment of greater stability, as well as the approval for the Commission's next budget. Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Mustafa Sisilo, stressed the need for the consolidation of the right steps already taken to put the region on the paths of sustainable progress and integration. Head of the Commission's institution welcomed the new impetus given to the implementation of Supplementary Act relating to the enhancement of the powers of ECOWAS Parliament and called for collaboration between the Commission's institutions.
The task before us as parliamentarians is to deliberate more so as to come up with a rock-solid position to guide the executive arm.
I'm proud to say that the ECOWAS Court of Justice and the ECOWAS Parliament have always shared the spirit of solidarity and collaboration.
And we're going to work with you. We're already working with your secretariat to arrive at the process in accordance with the rules, so that this time around, at least we're all in synergy.
Members were unanimous in their decision that ECOWAS will continue to strengthen its intervention mechanism in order to support the conduct of peaceful elections in all member states, especially the forthcoming presidential election in Guinea-Bissau. And at the end of it all, they are going to come out with a strong legislative agenda that would help in galvanizing support for the integration, stability, and development of the West African sub-region. In Abuja, Ado Ademwanso, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with former President Goodluck Jonathan on his 62nd birthday, joining the nation in praying for longer life, good health, and more strength for him to keep serving the nation. President Buhari believes the former president's legacy of humility and patriotism will continue to resonate and inspire generations to come on the sacrifices made for the stability of democracy and promotion of sustainable development, while rejoicing with family, friends, and political associates of the former president. President Buhari lauded him for good counsels to leaders within and outside Nigeria since he left office, and wishes the former president and his family more years of joyful celebrations. Kano State government moves to unravel alleged sale of babies case. More on this after the break. Please stay.
Papa Scholastic, now what are you doing? Emeka, drive the limousine Bugatti, come inside now. Include 200 naira recharge card for me.
200 naira. Just recharge 200 naira for 1 day, and you say fit follow win for the hundreds and hundreds of heavy prizes like a can of pepper, industrial sewing machine, grinding machine, and generator. No, my own done better.
My grinder will go win. Now here I go put up. Make that. Hey, make una no go recharge una glow. I don't win generator, and here now myself. Oh,
the more you recharge, the more your chance, the better.
Glow Unlimited.
Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get some money, then they feel me now. But then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they wanna get it. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
Niger State Ministry of Water Resources and Dams Development welcomes all participants to the 26th regular meeting of the National Council on Water Resources with the theme Water, Sanitation and Job Creation, under the distinguished chairmanship of the Honorable Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Hussein Suleiman Adamu, holding at Idris Legbo Kutigi International Conference Center, Mina, Niger State, from Wednesday 20th to 24th of November 2019. Time is 9 a.m. daily. Chief host, His Excellency the Governor of Niger State, Alhaji Abubakar Sani Bello. Welcome to Niger State, the power state. This message is from Yusuf Suleiman, the Honorable Commissioner, Water Resources and Dams Development, Niger State.
Hey, bro, what's good? What's up, man?
Wait. Sure, son, I won't device a carry.
Enjoy more data than before on Airtel Home Broadband. Get up to 160 gigabytes on routers with 25,000 Naira and 55 gigabytes on Airtel MiFi's with 12,000 Naira. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Strongest, no challenge can stop us, so Lord.
Let Motor Goodness fuel your greatness. Let's go.
The management and staff of the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission wishes to announce the fourth quarter 2019 Joint Nigeria Public-Private Partnership Network and Public-Private Partnership Units Consultative Forum meeting with the theme Accelerating Bankable PPP Project Development in Nigeria, the Afrexim Bank Project Preparation Facility Workshop. The event is scheduled to take place as follows. Date, Thursday, 21st November 2019. Venue, Lagos Oshu Hall, Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. These events are sponsored by Afrexim Bank and PAC Capital Limited. Please note that attendance to this event is by invitation only. Engineer Chidi K.C. Izuwa Senior, Director General and CEO, Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission. Announcer.
The Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Obonaya Onu, and the Minister of State, Barrister Mohammed H. Abdullahi, wish to invite the general public to the 17th meeting of the National Council on Science and Technology, which we hold as follows. Date, Monday 25th to Friday 29th November 2019. Venue, Amos House Complex, 47, Arthur Eze Avenue, Accra, Anambra State. Time, 8 a.m. daily. Theme, moving Nigeria from import-dependent to sustainable, self-reliant and exporting nation through science, technology, and innovation. The meeting will attract the presence of all commissioners and permanent secretaries of science and technology from the 36 states and the FCT, as well as director generals and CEO of agencies of the ministry. For further inquiries, please contact Dr. Ijoma Irene, Deputy Director, Planning, Research and Policy Analysis Department, on these numbers: 0803-409-2081. Beatrice Bako Nabasu, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
It's time for us to protect our future.
The Federal Ministry of Health and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, in collaboration with partners, are commencing a second dose of measles vaccination of children 15 months of age from 14th November 2019. All caregivers with children up to 2 years of age should ensure that they visit health facilities, outreach sites, and mobile sessions in their communities to have their children screened for the vaccination with measles second dose. Note that apart from the usual first measles vaccination of 9 months, parents and caregivers now have to vaccinate children 15 months of age with a second dose of measles vaccine to fully protect the children from measles. Remember, November 14th, 2019 is the commencement for the measles second dose introduction in the southern states. Measles kills. Protect your child now. Measles vaccination is free, safe, and effective. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency with support from partners. For further inquiries, call the following toll-free lines: 0803-123-0415.
Welcome back to News Extra. The Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the alleged kidnap and sale of Kano children has received more than 60 testimonies and memoranda from the public in the last 2 weeks. Most of those who appeared before the commission are parents of missing children and community leaders. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
The 16-member Commission of Inquiry was constituted against the recent discovery of a criminal syndicate that abduct and sell children from Kano State. The commission, chaired by retired Kano High Court Judge Wada Umar, is in addition to identifying the causes, victims and culprits, is also expected to recommend ways of addressing the menace. To generate input, a public hearing is being held at the Kano High Court complex. 2 weeks into its commencement, About 70 persons have so far testified, while many others presented memoranda. Findings from the Commission show that most of those who gave testimonies are parents of missing children. Some of the reported cases occurred 5 to 10 years ago. Among other memoranda submitted are for the strengthening of neighborhood watch and community policing, as well as ban of motor parks operating at flash points and effective regulation of the transport system. The public hearing continues till the end of November. In Kano, Abdullah Mustafa, NTA News.
The joy of the arrival of a baby to a family usually knows no bound. But it was one with mixed feelings for Emmanuel Igenti, whose wife Susan gave birth to quintuplets. Shaibu Onoze Yakubu was at the Federal Medical Center, Jabi, Abuja, where the babies and the mother are said to be doing well.
The parents of the quintuplets, Emmanuel and Susan Igenti, were married in 2003. 16 years down the lane, they were just blessed with 5 children, 3 girls and 2 boys through in vitro fertilization IVF. Mr. Emmanuel Igenti and his wife, both natives of Umar village in Anambra State, but resident in Abuja, while appreciating the gift of God, solicit the assistance of the government and other public-spirited individuals to come to their aid in any way possible.
Since 2003, when I married, nothing like this. We have been going here and there, suffering. At last, I tell my wife, say, I can't go anywhere again. If God want to leave us like that, let him leave us. But we believe in one God, our living God. So this period now, God has done it.
I want Nigerian government to help me to train them for school.
Head of Clinical Services at the Federal Medical Center Abuja, Dr. Felix Roland Bolorunduro, says it was a rare feat at the hospital for successfully delivering quintuplets through IVF.
The mother is doing fine. The babies as well, they were delivered via cesarean section. They are only in the ward, admitted presently, and they are presently out of incubator. The present socio-economic situation of the couple particularly, they have low socio-economic status. We learned that a man is staying in a one-room apartment in Utako village. And so we were faced with the dilemma of discharging them to a one-room apartment, knowing the health implications, particularly with the children. And so that is why we've been very hesitant in releasing the family.
It is obvious they cannot take care of these babies properly. So we need at least 3 nannies for them, since the mother-in-law is around.
Since its establishment, this is the first time the Federal Medical Center in Jabi, Abuja is delivering quintuplets through cesarean section. Shaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Well, we wish Emmanuel's family all the best. Really cute babies there. Active legislation against the activities of unskilled birth attendants, subsidized cost of maternity care, and prevention of prolonged and obstructed labor, experts say, are some sure ways of tackling the scourge of obstetrics fistula. Other areas of concern are the alarming cases of rape and teenage pregnancies, resulting in the increased number of young people presently with obstetrics fistula in recent times. So what can be done to remedy this situation? Let's find out.
Right now, I have a young girl who got pregnant and came down with VVF. She has been repaired and she wants to share her story. How are you today?
I'm fine.
So, tell us about your experience.
I got pregnant at the age of 15 years, and I came to VVF, and then I have now fine.
So tell us what happened.
I was going to the place I used to labor, and I tried to labor the baby. I can't labor the baby. I just told those people to carry me to the hospital so that they can go and operate me and bring the baby out. They refused to carry me there. After the baby was died inside my stomach, They come and carry me to the hospital. They go and draw the baby out.
Statistics show that about 150,000 women across Nigeria are awaiting fistula surgery, and each year another 12,000 women come down with fistula, while the current rate of repairs stand at about 3,000 cases in a year. Working out these mathematics, it may take another 50 years to clear the backlog of fistula cases if only we are able to stop new cases from arising.
It's well known that over 60% of women attend antenatal care, but less than 40% actually deliver under supervised care. So we need to be able to develop that health-seeking behavior, and I think government too need to subsidize the cost of antenatal care and the cost of delivery.
Orient our mothers properly as to where to go when they are pregnant, when they are in labor. We need to continue to hammer it, the reason why they should go there, where to go, and the reason why they should go there.
To end this scourge, therefore, experts say prolonged and obstructed labor, which accounts for 85 to 95% of cases of fistula, must be checked. To alleviate the sufferings of women with various birth injuries, therefore, the VVF Hospital Mbribritam in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State Capital, in collaboration with volunteer doctors, organized quarterly camps that offer free surgery to hundreds of women in the South-South region. This is a clear indication that vesicovaginal fistula is not a death sentence. This health condition can be repaired and women live a normal life. And interestingly so, this repair is done across Nigeria free of charge. In Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State Capital, Ifoma Aihuji, NTA News.
Well, thank you so much, Ifoma, for that information. Now, to whom much is given, much is expected. This much is the situation in Jigawa State, where much was given to the school feeding program, and the expectation of increased school enrollment is also being achieved. For we hear there is significant improvement in school pupils' enrollment. Abdullahi Garba revisits the program 2 years down the line, and here are his findings.
The federal government's homegrown feeding program, which was introduced by the Buhari administration, is aimed at providing free meals to pupils of primary 1 to 3 in more than 30 states of the federation. Jigawa State, which is one of the beneficiaries, has over 1,800 primary schools captured, with over 1 million pupils provided with meals 5 days a week. While the federal government feeds pupils in primary 1 to 3, the state government complements the gesture by providing meals to those in primary 4 to 6.
In Jigawa State, we have more than 38% increment in our enrollment from the start of the program to date. And even if you look at the holistic average, wherever you go, in some states you see more than 40%, around 30 to 40% increment in the enrollment, largely because of this particular component of the program.
Punctuality of the pupils, such as the performance of the pupils, and even the enrollment of the pupils to the school, unlike before starting this feeding.
In addition to the impact of the program on educational development, it also impacts positively on economic empowerment, as over 10,000 women food vendors in the state are empowered through the supply of food to schools. Along the value chain, the program also encourages local farming, as homegrown products are solely used, thereby boosting the economy of the farmers in the state.
Now we get this opportunity, so we are not living like that. We are getting something from it.
Honestly speaking, this food is very important.
Kuna cin abincin Baba Buhari kullum? Kuna jin daɗi? To ku tafa magani. So this is an indication that these people are very happy. It encourages them to come to school, which serves as a moral booster, especially in rural areas. From Buba in Jigawa State, Abdullahi Garba Kudu, NTA News.
Indeed, it serves as a moral booster with that claps I've just seen and everyone watching out there. Now, if you are thinking of traveling through the countryside, here is the story of one crisscrossing Konerko Boundary community along the Lafia-Makudi Highway. Really like no other because it is a popular stopover location for the unique attraction of local food delicacies and growing game of bushmeat business. It does sound good, right? For the rest of the story, here is Hamza Musamak Erfi.
Well, this is the geographic boundary between Benue in my front and Nasarawa State backwards. More than 160 kilometers from the FCT, you are already in Konerko community. The highway covering the distance of the town is called Abuja Line and its peculiar ambience. Business may not be brisk at this time, but Regina Zwabi and daughter Annabel, as well as many others, say it is good with arrival of commuters. A stopover by Ochie King cannot be ignored.
It's a place to stop by because of the cultural and the natural foods they had here. Each time, maybe if I am passing through or coming back from Abuja, especially if I'm coming back from Abuja, if I didn't stop here, it's as if I have not really passed through this place.
What also makes the community tick is the rebound of bushmeat business.
Can you sell it for less than 4,000 actually?
In every area of life, there is unity among the Nigerian people because bushmeat you buy here is from other parts of the country.
They bring it from Niger State, Maiduguri, Kano and Taraba. And because of the distance, the bushmeat is expensive now.
Initiatives by the government of ensuring stability is making the community more attractive to flourishing businesses.
For somebody to live far from Benue, far from Abuja, past life here, the heart of the state, but decided to rest in Konerko, it shows that the people are very accommodating.
Abuja line, welcome everybody in the whole world, not even Nigeria only.
This is the story of Konerko Boundary community sustaining the promotion of local food culture in Nigeria. From Konerko, Hamza Musamak Erfi, NTA News.
Well, Hamza, I am going to tell you that the News Extra team will sure visit Konerko anytime soon. Now, the Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Saad, has been described as a symbol of peace and unity across the globe. These were the views of speakers at a one-day symposium to mark the 13 years anniversary of Sultan of Sokoto and the throne. Mohammed Nasser reports that the event was organized by Sokoto State Joint Islamic Organizations in collaboration with Da'wah Coordination Council of Nigeria.
Within the 13 years on the throne of his ancestors, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has worked tirelessly in the promotion of education, especially the girl child and out-of-school children, health, economic development, and security, among other sectors. This symposium was jointly organized by 10 Islamic organizations to commemorate the Sultan's 13th anniversary and remind people of his contributions in different fields of human life. Speakers at the event spoke on the monarch's giant stride, especially in the translation of literary works of Sokoto jihadists from Arabic to Hausa and English languages, struggle to foster unity among Nigerians, and commitment to promote peace and religious tolerance among people of different faiths.
In the institution of Zakat, he has done wonderfully well, that today the world has recognized what he has, not only in Nigeria. And also His Eminence has done so well on the issue of Hajj. The Hajj exercise has been sanitized and rearranged.
The forum also provided avenue to highlight struggles made by Sultan in mediating disputes among various communities in the world. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
The bees are buzzing again and the sound is tilting towards the education sector. I guess you're a bit confused, but don't be, as the bees will soon be unraveled after the break. Please stay.
Blogger, I travel a lot.
Canada,
India,
Times Square, Hollywood.
Shut down New York, and then we'll be back in India. This tour is going to be fantabulous. I'm telling you the truth. We are shutting down London. But it's been an awesome time hanging out with you. It's time for dance. Hey! You must be on Glow.
Is that your new pickup line?
Glow Super Value Pack. Enjoy more talk time with data and more data with talk time in Nigeria and your favorite international destinations. Because as a comedian, I like to talk.
So true.
So what do you do? Oh, I'll call you. Dial *777# to choose a plan. Glow Unlimited.
Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get some money, then they feel me now. Back then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they wanna get down. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Where they call you my sagacity. Krikata, 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 krikata. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move.
In a country filled with different and unique kinds of people, there's no such thing as one size fits all for everything, especially sleep. That's why there's a Muka specially made for you. The Pepper Dem Gang, the Mamas, the Daddies, the Papas, the Zaddies, the Fit Fam, and the I cannot come and go and kill myself. Whoever you are, there's a Muka for you. Visit www.muka.com.
Time for us to protect our future.
The Federal Ministry of Health and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, in collaboration with partners, are commencing a second dose of measles vaccination of children 15 months of age from 14th November 2019. All caregivers with children up to 2 years of age should ensure that they visit health facilities, outreach sites, and mobile sessions in their communities to have their children screened for the vaccination with measles second dose. Note that apart from the usual first measles vaccination of 9 months, parents and caregivers now have to vaccinate children 15 months of age with a second dose of measles vaccine to fully protect the children from measles. Remember, November 14th, 2019 is the commencement for the measles second dose introduction in the southern states. Measles kills. Protect your child now. Measles vaccination is free, safe, and effective. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency with support from partners. For further inquiries, call the following toll-free lines: 0803 123 0415.
Fever? Headaches? Life should be lived to the fullest. Trust Emzor Paracetamol to give you fast relief. And get back to enjoying life. Brilliant goal! Emzor Paracetamol makes you feel better.
Good to know you're still with us on News Extra. The Federation Account Allocation Committee on Wednesday shared a total of 702.058 billion naira to the 3 tiers of government for the month of October. The 702.058 billion comprised of revenue from value-added tax, exchange gain, and solid minerals revenue.
Higher than what was recorded in the previous month, which was 693 billion 529 million, and the difference is 8 billion 530 million.
Down of the allocation shows the federal government got 295.737 billion naira, states got 192.697, while local governments got 144.987 billion naira. The oil producing states shared 49.164 as 13%.
The balance in the excess crude account as at 19th November 2019 is $324.036 million.
The next meeting is proposed for mid-December. And it's now time for us to join Abolade Salami in Lagos for business news. Abolade, it's over to you.
Thank you, Fatima. Good evening and welcome to the business news segment. Sustaining federal government's resolve at ensuring growth in the economy will involve the role of accounting professionals in maintaining accountability and accuracy in all public and private financial transactions. President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Mazi Okwadibu, admonished professionals to uphold ethical standards always.
Nigeria's macro and micro economy in the last few years have recorded some level of marginal growth due to federal government's economic policies aimed at sustaining a positive performance. In driving the performance to the next level of growth, the accounting profession is appealing to accountants to uphold uprightness and transparency in the involvement of public funds.
In the public sector, professional accountants shape fiscal policies that have far-reaching impact on the lives of many. Accountancy professionals must strive to restore, maintain, and ensure continued integrity to our noble profession by reinforcing accountability, transparency, and upholding its ethical foundations.
President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Mazi Okwadibu, reiterated that members of the profession are poised to maintaining ethical standards.
You must be above board as professionals. The code of ethics of the profession must be your guiding principles if you would stand out as accountants.
The Institute described various economic policies of the federal government as crucial to nation building.
Oil prices rose more than 2% this Wednesday than the expected U.S. crude inventories report, as Russia said it would continue to cooperate with OPEC to keep the global oil market balanced. Brent crude futures went up $1.42 to $62.63 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate crude futures gained $1.41 to $56.62 a barrel. And now let's see what's happening in the equities market. The bull was accommodated at the close of trading of stocks as investors gained over 17 billion naira, with the all-share index moving up slightly by 0.14%. Details of midweek trading.
Equities market finished on a positive note, gaining 0.14% with an all-share index of 26,776.15 basis points. Volume of shares traded stood at 267 million, valued at 3.5 billion naira, which changed hands in 4,074 deals, with a market capitalization of 12.9 trillion naira. Nigeria breweries led other companies on the gainers list, followed by Corn Oil and UBA, while on the flip side, MTN Nigeria, Dangote Cement, and NASCON finished in the red line.
And that's it on business. It's back to Fatima in Abuja for the rest of the news. Good evening.
Well, thank you so much, Abolade, for the business package. Now, plans are being finalized to boost Nigeria's oil reserve to about 40 billion barrels through exploration by 2023. Group Managing Director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mele Kyari, stated this at the 37th Annual Conference of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists in Lagos. Abolade Salami completes the report.
For Nigeria to grow its daily oil production capacity from 2.3 million barrels to...
Well, we're sorry about that. I could see Abolade earlier, but we'll get to that report much later. Now, cotton farmers in Kano State who benefited from the federal government's 100 billion naira cotton revolving fund are now counting their gains. This is an indication that ailing textile industry in Nigeria will get enough raw materials to begin production. Yahana Suhassan Barrow reports that cotton farming will no doubt change the economic fortunes of some farmers. Let's hear her.
Both the local government in Kano State is one of the areas selected to pilot the cotton revival scheme in June this year. Farmers in this village received improved cotton seeds and other farming inputs from the federal government to start up massive cotton production. Barely 6 months after, these farmers have a success story to tell. One of them is Baba Yahaya, who harvested more than 2 tons of cotton. This is the 5th time Baba Yahaya is harvesting from his cotton farm. He is still expecting to harvest for the 6th and 7th time.
We are calling on government to provide us with input on time for the scheme to continue.
If you can look at the whole situation, you can see that farming is everything. If you can farm, I'm telling you, you will get more than what you want.
Many in this farming community are quite appreciative of the steps taken by Buhari-led administration to encourage cotton production to provide the nation's moribund textile industries with raw materials. This development is sharing with dual advantage of job creation and improving economic fortune of the state, which is dotted with collapsed textile industries.
The chain begins from the farm. Job creation begins. In the industry, continuation. In the market, continuation.
No doubt farmers like Yahaya, who embrace the initiative, will keep on smiling to the bank as hopes are high that textile industries across the country will soon bounce back to life. In Kano, Yahana Sahasambaro, NTA News.
Well, thank you, Yahana. So now we'll take you back to our earlier report by Abolade Salami on petroleum land scale through new technology. So let's watch.
To grow its daily oil production capacity from 2.3 million barrels to about 3 million barrels, as well as boost its reserves from 37 billion barrels to 40 billion barrels by 2023. Industry players have advocated for further exploration with the use of imagining and new technology. Stakeholders noted that with a spike in crude oil price in 2013 and uptick in renewables, alongside activities of apathy in the industry, which has made it difficult for oil companies to look more deeply on exploration. Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kyari, says the corporation has drilled 23 nearly dried wells in Chad Basin with some new findings.
We have is the discovery that we did at Kolmani, which is the deployment of the best technology, best innovation, best new technology that can ever be found in the industry. We deploy it. The industry couldn't find oil in the frontier basins in 25 to 30, 40 years. Now we found it.
President, Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists, said with the recovering oil prices and drive for effective energy sources globally, the need to reposition petroleum industry for competitive performance is sacrosanct.
Well, we met all our objectives. Many of the things that we were known for, education to our members, especially the students, and of course to grow the resources in the industry in terms of technology. These are some of the things I mentioned to you last year at last year's conference. And we are taking it, and we're not joking with what we said. We are achieving them gradually.
The conference provided platform for oil and gas companies to exhibit their products and speak on their impact on the growth of the industry in Nigeria. The 37th annual conference of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists has as its theme expanding Nigeria's petroleum landscape, digitization, innovation, and imagining new technology. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
The plant only grows on highlands. The leaves processed into tea is medicinal with relaxing effects. Now, the tea in question is the Highland Tea, which has been in existence in Taraba State. Considering its health benefits, the manufacturer has decided to introduce the product to the southern region of the country. Lynn Leneke reports that the unveiling was performed by the Taraba State Governor.
To the use of humanity.
Two tea variants there for tea lovers to choose from, considering their benefits. The Black Highland Tea manufacturers say has antioxidant properties and helps in reducing blood pressure. For those who love to detoxify, the Highland green tea is an option for wholeness. The move is part of the Taraba State government's vision to promote the state's exclusive beverage and expand its markets.
We are inviting investors all over. We have a lot of clones of teas, and each clone has its flavor. But now we blended all the tea into one to have a variety of flavor in one teacup.
The Mambila Beverages Nigeria Limited, which has been moribund for years, was revived in 2012, leveraging on the economic potential of its product and boost investment.
Our idea is to bring our Highland tea from Taraba to Lagos, where the large market is available, so that we can expose it to Nigerians here. After the acceptability here in Lagos, we will then think of other West African countries. Yes, we will export, but let's first satisfy the home demand.
With over 15,000 hectares, Mambila Beverages Nigeria is capable of supplying Nigeria full tea consumption needs and has generated over 3,000 employments. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
That's really interesting. Adeola Ademwa Ifeolua of Chrisfield College, Ikorodu, has emerged winner of the Lagos State Private School Spelling Bee competition. Ruth Ario Samuel reports that 70 schools took part in the first edition of the competition.
Ago with intra-school competition down to the district level is aimed at improving spelling ability and enhance confidence in children to continue to strive for excellence. HALLUCINOGEN. The competition is an initiative of the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, MTN, and other partners, designed to motivate children to learn, play, and shine. 28 schools which made it to the final stage keenly contested for the grand prize. After much tussle, Chrisfield College, Ikorodu, Lagos emerged winner.
Children are really smart, really bright. We want to be able to, push them, from this level, encourage them, help them believe in themselves that they can do anything.
Proprietors of private schools, thank you for investing in our children, for investing in qualitative education. Your investment today is going to be what will transform this country tomorrow.
The prize that comes with this hard work is 500,000 Naira cash and scholarship award. While the yellow people of MTN will be waiting to receive Ifeolua as their CEO for a day.
I would like to use it to inspire children also, because I feel I was inspired by someone too, so I want to be able to inspire other people too, so that they can become better people themselves.
I didn't expect to get this far. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
A very, very, very big thank you to MTN.
MTN says it will continue to encourage Nigerian youths in attaining their potential. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
Nasi, congratulations to Ifeolua and also Chrisfield College, Ikorodu, Lagos. Now, get one for free and give your neighbor one. A resounding cliche adopted in Kebbi and Adamawa states to fight poverty among rural dwellers. And the goat is at the center of this strategy. Need I say more? News Extra returns after the break.
Since 1971, Nigeria's foremost human capital development institution, the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, has been at the forefront of equipping Nigerians with skills for national growth. Today's ITF has repositioned and refocused its programs, forging new partnerships locally and internationally to effectively deliver on its mandate. With 37 area offices and 5 industrial skills training centers across the country, ITF is pushing to reduce unemployment by providing relevant technical and vocational skills for employability and entrepreneurship in diverse trades and crafts. Whether you're a public or private organization seeking to improve the skills of your personnel, or an individual looking to acquire skills that will increase your chances of employment or even to help start your own business, today's ITF has a program for you. Speak to us today. Contact our area offices nationwide or visit our website www.itf.gov.ng. ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
This is the game I've been waiting for, and I get a headache. But I remembered Mom's advice.
Son, don't let anything stop you, okay?
When headache strikes, I always trust Sudrex. Because Sudrex acts fast to relieve headaches. Sudrex, win your day.
Them girls just they feel me now, cause I get some money, then they feel me now. Back then they do me anyhow. I don't get some money, they want to get down. Oh yeah, shake body. Oh yeah, move body. Make you ring alarm. Oh yeah, shake body.
Why keep mixing things when you can have all in one? New Mr. Muscle All-Purpose Cleaner. Have the cleaning power, so you can easily dance right through a variety of tough messes like spills and stains, grease and soap scum, and get back to the things you love. New Mr. Muscle All-Purpose Cleaner. Get your power in one. SC Johnson, a family company.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes, and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, fearless, loyal, and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem with pride to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
It is a lead we should take to honor the memory of the gallant officers and men who paid the supreme sacrifice to keep the country united.
President Muhammadu Buhari enjoins all ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send your donations to these accounts. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. EcoBank Nigeria PLC.
This year, like every other year, for over a decade, we celebrate and reward African creatives around the world at the African Academy Awards ZAFA 2019 in Abuja, Nigeria. The second homecoming event is a 3-day gathering of industry stakeholders and enthusiasts to network as well as encourage and motivate budding talents. The movie screenings, exhibitions, and masterclasses will hold at the Silverbird Galleria on the 22nd to 23rd November 2019. The awards and gala night on the 24th of November 2019 at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja. For inquiries and sponsorship, advert placements, and tickets, call the following numbers on your screen now or visit www.zafa.org.
This is wonderful.
I'm super excited about it. Nothing is expected of them other than awesomeness.
ZAFA 2019. Come expecting the unexpected.
Welcome back. The United States stronger regional collaboration among the Lake Chad Basin Commission member nations to rapidly tackle security threats confronting the Sahel region. This was highlighted by the UN Special Representative of the Secretary General to West Africa and the Sahel at the graduation lecture for Army War College Course 3. The first correspondent Ismail Musa has the details.
Socio-economic activities in the Sahel region, cutting across Nigeria's northeast, is said to be threatened by proliferation of small and light weapons and insurgency. The decade-long security challenge has claimed several lives and displaced thousands of people, with property worth billions destroyed.
For these regions, the countries, we cannot solve this insecurity in isolation. We must work together. And I think this is very, very important.
to address this global monster, particularly terrorism, that is truncating development in the region. The Nigerian Armed Forces is dealing with the criminals through a series of counter-insurgency operations, in addition to the firepower of the Multinational Joint Task Force, MNJTF.
I would like to stress the key message, which is that the holistic consideration and appropriate response to the non-traditional threats in the contemporary environment would determine the prospects for sustainable peace and development of communities, states, regions, and indeed our entire planet.
The Nigerian Army War College, a premier center of learning, was established in 2017 to bridge the gap between the strategic and tactical levels of warfare. From the Nigerian Army War College in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
If you are a social media geek like me with thousands of followers, then you understand the importance of managing your posts properly. As a professional fighting force, the Nigerian Air Force is re-strategizing to enhance such by exploring new techniques of managing information. Correspondent Naja Atitijani reports.
Where this two-day workshop open.
Excitement follows this declaration, signifying the commencement of a new approach to strategic communications in this workshop organized by the Nigerian Air Force Directorate of Public Relations, in collaboration with communications experts from various organizations. Evolving security challenges call for evolving strategic communications, and for these information officers, it has become more imperative to find new techniques of interacting with the various members of the public. Wing Commander Rose Bello assists in directing the social media unit of the Nigerian Air Force, which has close to 2 million followers.
And so for us, we really look forward to this training and the skills we will acquire after it, hoping to be able to use them in the course of monitoring and shaping the narrative.
This is the kind of tempo which the Chief of the Air Staff, in a message delivered by the Chief of Administration, notes will foster effective public relations communications.
And so we've gone to look for the very best to ensure that we have the tools that are current, that are in tune with current realities, to be able to better communicate to Nigerians what their Air Force is doing.
It is expected that the two-day workshop will keep the officers abreast of these changing patterns and equip them to deal with relevant ones in the global security environment. Najat Tijani, NTA News.
The fact that Nigeria is blessed with creative minds may not be new to you. What is pleasantly surprising is the ingenuity of creative ideas that keep springing up in every nook and cranny of the country. Now, a visit to the ongoing 12th International Arts and Craft Expo taking place in Abuja was an eye-opener, as different countries from across the world had on display the different taste in their arts and craft. Ruth Aguele was there to capture some of the moments.
I am not too familiar with the process of making nuts, but this sure looks like ground nuts, or what could they be?
These are raw beans of coffee. In the average Ethiopian household, you'll always find these beans washed every day and then roasted, ground. That's why Ethiopian coffee tastes so much better.
Just a bit of the topping on the icing. It is an atmosphere of a unique blend of different artistry on display. Well-defined local crafts with a fusion of different cultural heritage of the different countries represented here on the one platform to network and harness creativity at its peak. The sound of the steel drum from Trinidad and Tobago heralding the arrival of the host, Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Runshere, who sees the platform as a yardstick to strengthen bilateral relations between Nigeria and other countries.
Nigeria and Malaysia have a very strong ties, and that's why we're happy to see Malaysia their national flag speaks volume.
What we have here, we have some batiks. Batiks from Malaysia. We have a distinctive feature of batik, maybe a bit different from what Nigerian have. We also bring food for the Nigerian people to taste.
These are paintings, which is the artwork of our economic counselor in Lagos. Nigerian art and craft is really beautiful, and artists, they are so talented.
It's not the first time we are here, and we are going to be next year. We want to be permanently.
Aisha Yusuf has not been finding it easy in her bead making for 7 years now. This exhibition, she say, is a big opportunity to expand her network.
It promotes the business. I meet various kind of people from around the world. It's handcrafted. I craft them myself.
Other participants believe tapping into Nigeria's immense potential in arts and craft and exchange trade ideas will be of importance.
Eat the same rice and beans we eat in Cuba. Only thing we don't put in there is that much pepper you put in that.
It's all about promoting creativity, ingenuity, and local craft at its best. It's the 12th International Arts and Crafts Expo happening here in Abuja, and it's all about networking Nigerian craft to the rest of the world.
The exhibition will continue in the next few days as the participants hope to exchange cultural cooperation. In Abuja, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
A really interesting and beautiful place to visit. I know most Nigerians are familiar with the market strategy of buy one and get one free, but I doubt if you have heard get one for free and give your neighbor one. Well, that is one of the strategies adopted in Kebbi and Adamawa states to fight poverty among rural dwellers, and goat is at the center of this strategy. How does this system work? Here is Musa Baba Aliu with the details.
Goats can be destructive as they eat food items and vegetables like human beings. As a rugged that can survive on available shrubs and trees in an unfavorable environment. This is why goat rearing is more economical because of its less initial investment, low input requirement, and ease to market.
The goat is the type of animal that in this north is simple for even the vulnerable person to rear.
Consequently, the European Union and Oxfam Poverty Alleviation Program in Nigeria included goat rearing in their 4 years intervention program in Kebbi and Adamawa states.
We give to selected beneficiary households or community partners at least a goat, a female goat, and 11 chickens, 10 hens, and 1 cock per household.
Now they are to take care of the goats till they give birth, and the kids will be handed over to the next vulnerable person.
Hadiza
Nata'ala is one of the beneficiaries. She described the process as unifying among the community. My neighbor helped me in taking care of the goats because I am to hand over the kids to her, she says. The beneficiaries, who are oftentimes described as community partners, were organized into associations to ease monitoring.
In Kebbi, we have 30 communities and we work in 3 local governments, Danko Asago, Benin Kebbi, and Jega local governments. In Adamawa State, we work in Mubi South, Fufure, Goyuk, and Song. In total, we work in 70 communities.
So far, more than 5,500 goats were distributed to vulnerable households in Kebbi and Adamawa states. From Wasagu in Kebbi State, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Musa. That's a very good one. You're still on the news extra. Sports and weather updates comes right after the break.
This Saturday on the Premier League, Arsenal take on South